She used to say it so easily, like it was nothing more than a casual excuse. I don't have time. 3 simple words that began echoing in my mind louder than anything else. First, I believed her. I mean, who doesn't get busy? Work, friends, errands, life just piles up. But when the person you love treats you like a task on a checklist, it starts to eat away at something inside you. My name's Ryan. We've been married for 7 years. The first 3 felt like everything I imagined marriage should be. Laughter, late-night conversations, little surprises. Then somewhere in the shuffle of promotions, deadlines, and the endless scroll of social media, I started disappearing from her world. Not physically, but emotionally. She'd say things like, "Not tonight, Ryan. Early meeting." Or, "Can we skip dinner?" Calls to finish. Every time she'd smile, as if that could soften the distance, but it didn't. The irony? I was working just as hard, yet I never missed a chance to show up for her. Birthdays, anniversaries, tiny gestures. She was my priority. I was hers only when convenient. It hit me one night when I came home early. The table was set for 1. Mine. A note lay on the counter. Got delayed again. Don't wait up. I stared at it for a long moment before tossing it in the trash. Something inside me shifted that night. The next morning over coffee she asked casually, "Can you transfer some money for the weekend? I'm going shopping with Mia." I looked at her, really looked, and said, "I don't have money." She blinked, confused. "What? Since when?" I just shrugged. "Guess I've been too busy to make it." Her silence cut sharper than anything she had said to me in years, but I didn't flinch. For so long I'd been buying her time with my patience. Now I wanted to see how she handled scarcity, not of money but of effort. The first week she brushed it off. Fine, she'd just use her card. The second week she began to notice. "Ryan, the bills are piling up." I nodded, sipping my coffee. "Yeah, time's been tight lately." Now that word time haunted her, echoing in the way I had when she told me she was too busy. It was poetic in a cold kind of way. I wasn't cruel. I still spoke politely, did my chores, kept up appearances, but the warmth had gone. I stopped texting her from work, stopped asking about her day, stopped planning our weekends, just as she had stopped caring about mine. One Friday evening, she came home exhausted and frustrated. Dropping her bag on the counter, she said, "You've changed, Ryan." I almost laughed. "You just noticed?" Her arms crossed. "You're distant, cold. You barely talk anymore." I leaned back on the couch, locking eyes with her. "You mean like you did when I tried to talk, and you were always too busy?" Her lips trembled. She said nothing, just searched for something to throw back at me. I could see the realization in her eyes, the mirror she'd refused to look into. That night she tried small talk. Asked if I wanted to watch a movie together. I said, "Can't. Got some work to finish." The same line she'd fed me for years. Only this time I meant it, not because of work but because I wanted her to feel the chill of her own indifference. By week's end she stopped asking. The house fell quiet. Not angry quiet, but empty quiet, as if we both knew something had broken beyond repair. Silence became routine. We moved through the same house like polite strangers, careful not to touch, careful not to feel. Occasionally she tried to break it with gestures, cooking my favorite meal, leaving notes, asking to go out, but it all felt rehearsed, too late, hollow. She had time now, plenty of it. But I no longer had the heart to spend it with her. One Sunday morning she sat across from me at breakfast. Her eyes were softer, more tired. "Ryan," she said quietly, "I know I messed up. I didn't realize how much I was taking you for granted." I kept my gaze on the newspaper. "Takes time to realize that, doesn't it?" She flinched. "Can we just start over?" Those words used to mean hope. Now they sounded like a sales pitch after the store had burned down. I looked at her. Really looked. She wasn't the same woman I married. Not because she'd changed, but because I was no longer the man who waited for her attention. I had stopped needing validation from someone who only appeared when it suited her. "You always said you didn't have time," I said softly. "Now I get it. You weren't busy. I just wasn't worth your time." Tears welled in her eyes. "That's not true, Ryan. I just lost track." I interrupted, calm but firm. "And I lost respect. Guess we're even." She looked down, whispering, "What happened to us?" I smiled faintly. "You treated love like an option." I learned to treat money the same way. The line landed heavier than I expected. Her lips parted, but no words came out. The moment stretched between us, loaded with everything we had avoided saying for years. Over the next few weeks she tried harder. Cooked dinner, canceled outings, left her phone aside, but it didn't move me. You can't relight a fire after pouring enough cold water on it. You can start a new one, but never in the same ashes. One night she came to my study standing quietly. "Ryan, are you happy now? Punishing me like this." I closed my laptop and looked at her. "This isn't punishment, Claire. It's balance." She blinked confused. "Balance?" I nodded. "You taught me that love is a transaction. Give time, get effort. Withdraw attention, lose support. I'm just following your rules." Her eyes filled again. "That's not what I wanted." I nodded. "Neither did I." That was the last real conversation we had. After that, things faded. She spent more time at her sister's. I stopped asking where she went. Not anger anymore, just indifference. And indifference is colder than hate. A few months later she moved out. No fight, no argument. Just a quiet goodbye in a half-empty closet. I stood in the doorway, not out of guilt but closure. She glanced back once, searching my eyes for something. Regret? Affection? Maybe forgiveness. I had nothing left to give. The first week alone felt strange, almost hollow. But then came peace. True, unbothered peace. I realized how much subtle noise she brought into my life. Not loud, but the kind that hums under your skin, draining you slowly. Now when people ask if I'm okay, I tell the truth. I'm better. I don't chase people who claim they don't have time. I don't pour into cups that never refill. Last week, Claire texted me. "Do you ever miss us?" I stared at it for a moment, then typed back. "I don't have time." And for the first time, those words didn't sting, they felt like freedom.